In Series 8, we unlock a lot of very powerful drivers that are not only good in Series 8, but can still be useful in Series 9. So with all those amazing drivers to choose from, you might be wondering which drivers should you go with, which drivers are worth leveling, and that's exactly what we're going to find out today by having all Series 8 drivers duel it out World Cup style, with one exception being the epic version of Oliver Bearman from Series 6, who I think could still perform really well in this tournament. So that's the lineup for today, but as always, before we get into the first race, I want to give you some advice on the Series 8 car.
What are we driving?
Okay, so this is the car that I personally raced with in Series 8 that worked great for me, so if you're looking for any tips, then this is what I would recommend you go with. I think several choices here are very straightforward, but the question that most of you are probably asking themselves in Series 8, since it is all about speed, is the rear wing. Because in Series 8, we could of course also go with the Powerlift rear wing, which is better at speed. So you might be wondering, shouldn't I go with that instead? And I wouldn't say that going with the Powerlift rear wing is necessarily wrong. I guess it also, to a certain degree, comes down to preference. But I used it for several races and had no luck with it whatsoever. I felt like I had way better performance with the good old trusted Exhale rear wing. Because with tracks like Spa, for example, in Series 8, I just feel like you need DRS. Especially because with this car, the qualifying stat isn't necessarily great, so having that DRS to make some more overtakes I think really helps, so that's why I went with the Exhale rear wing, and it worked a lot better for me. But that's all my advice on the Series 8 car. That's what we're going to be racing with today in this tournament, and now let's get into the first race. Okay, in the first race, the first duel in this tournament takes place at the Red Bull Ring. Beautiful track, and it takes place between Rare Carlos Sainz and Rare Piastri, who have the same qualifying stat, so let's see how it plays out. Oof! Yeah, they have the exact same qualifying stat, but Piastri, I guess, just got a bit luckier. That can happen in these tournaments. Okay, so now tires. This is the thing now. I feel like usually I would do the one stop. Definitely with Carlos Sainz, who has better tire management, but I don't want to put them both on a one-stop strategy because, yeah. So usually I would do one stop, but I feel like for this duel, I'm actually going to put them on soft, medium, so that they don't double stack and it's actually a duel until the end of the race, until the finish line. But now, we're not at the finish line yet, we're at the start line basically, so let's see how the race start plays out. Both with an average race start, that makes sense, they have the exact same qualifying and race start stat, but Carlos still got away a bit better, although he has the worst overtaking stat, so not what I expected. I expected Piastri to do a lot better here, who is now catching up. He's also on the soft tire. Very interesting. Yeah, I put these two guys against each other for a very specific reason, because I am expecting this duel to be very close. And, yeah, first lap, Carlos Sainz P7, Piastri actually behind. So it's looking very good for Carlos Sainz right now. Quite surprisingly, I thought like with a better overtaking stat, Piastri would, and the soft tire, Piastri would take the lead for the first lap. But yeah, now they are very close, P7, P8. I wanted to put these two drivers against each other because I actually raced with Carlos Sainz for a bit in Series 8. I'm going to get more into that probably at the end of the video. But what I'm trying to get at is you would think that Carlos Sainz is really good in Series 8, but now that I leveled Piastri to the same level as Sainz just for this tournament, and Piastri is going to pit this lap, I actually noticed that Piastri, just looking at the stats, he's actually not that much worse. He's way better at overtaking, just slightly worse at defending, but he is worse at tire management. But tire management is not going to be an issue here at this race, so it's really just about defending and overtaking. And yeah, in Series 8, we do have, and Carlos Sainz is going to pit now to soft, yeah. And in Series 8, we have like a mixed bag of two defending tracks, one overtaking track, but then one tire management track. But then, again, these two drivers should be very closely matched, so I'm very interested to see how this duel plays out. Let's see how close they are once Carlos Sainz exits the pits. Piastri coming with DRS, but still slightly behind. And now Piastri's on the medium tire. and Carlos on the soft. So let's see how it plays out. Let's fast forward to the last lap, but it looks like it's going well for Carlos Sainz. Okay, so we are now in the last lap, or actually last couple corners, and I'm just going to push them as much as they can. They both have DRS, but yeah, in these last couple corners, not going to do much. And it looks like Carlos Sainz is going to win, actually getting P2 there. And Piastri in the mix, P5, P4. Okay. Yeah, and it was also close to P3. So, Carlos Sainz wins this first duel. Very interesting. It is what I expected. I do think he is slightly better in Series 8. But, yeah, Piastri put up a good fight. Okay, and we're in duel number 2 at Miami. Another great track. It's really easy to overtake here, especially if you have DRS. But let's see how they qualify. Leclerc P6, Gasly P11. Leclerc with the way better qualifying. Oh, and it's a wet race, okay. So Gasly, his only advantage to Leclerc is a way better tire management, which at this track, I don't know if it's gonna really be of much use to him. Because if Leclerc can do 3 laps on the wet tire, then I don't think Gasly has a chance here. Of course, we do have one track, Jeddah, about tire management in Series 8. There, Gasly, I guess, would be decent. But, to be honest, I didn't race with either of these two drivers in Series 8 because, yeah, they can be useful, like, for events, Leclerc with good qualifying stat and so on. But in Series 8, I don't think it's especially worth leveling them. But we'll see who wins between these two, and maybe we'll be surprised how far they get in this tournament. But that's why for now, while it is really close, so yeah, I want to skip this race and not make this video too long. And we actually got a safety car, okay, but it's the first lap, so it's not going to affect the race. Anyway, let's just skip ahead to the last lap and see who of these two not so good drivers is going to win. Okay, we are now in the last lap, and yeah, it looks like Leclerc is the better driver between the two, at least at Miami. In this case, he's far ahead of Gasly and was, yeah, could easily do the 3 laps on the wet tire, so only makes sense then Gasly didn't really have an advantage. This isn't a tire management track, so yeah, I guess Gasly at Jeddah, he could be strong in Series 8, but it's just one track, so yeah, in this duel, Gasly loses out and Leclerc emerges victorious. And now, because the Epic drivers skipped the first round, we're actually already in round 2 of this tournament. So let's see how that goes. Okay, we're now in round 2 of this tournament, and this is the duel that I was very much looking forward to because it's between Epic Bearman and Rare Carlos Sainz, in this case at the Red Bull Ring, where Carlos Sainz has the advantage because it's, yeah, about defending, but Bearman has the better qualifying. So let's see. Again, I would do a one-stop, especially with Carlos Sainz, but I don't want to make this a comparison of tire strategies, so I'm going to go again with soft, soft, medium. So let's see, Sainz is going to start on the medium. Okay, there you go. Okay, let's see how the race start plays out, and then I'm going to give my thoughts on these two drivers in Series 8, because they are very interesting. But now, ooh, Bearman with a perfect race start, Carlos Sainz just average. That's a huge difference, although I think Bearman's race start stat is just slightly better, not that much, so he got lucky there. But Carlos Sainz has the better defending stat, actually a lot better. If you think about it, this is a very similar duel than Carlos Sainz versus Piastri, and it's funny that we're also at the Red Bull Ring. But so far, it's looking a lot better for Bearman. Carlos Sainz only P11. So, oh, let's use DRS here. Yeah, I want to use that on first straight with both of them. But it's going to be more important for Carlos Sainz so that he can hopefully do some overtakes. Okay, so P10 versus P3. Okay, so Bearman is a lot more in the lead than Piastri, probably because of his better qualifying stat, but it's a long race, 10 laps, so Carlos Sainz has every opportunity to catch up. And yeah, now that they're just racing, don't have DRS, Bearman is going to pit this lap and is going to go soft again, so they avoid the double stack. Gonna give my thoughts on these two drivers. So I was very much looking forward to this duel. I'm interested to see how it plays out. because I actually raced with both of these drivers at different points in Series 8. Because, yeah, at the beginning, now I both have them at level 5, so it's a fair duel, so to speak. And we're going to use DRS here. But of course, when you just get to Series 8, you're going to have Behrman, who's a Series 6 driver, at a lot higher level than Carlos Sainz once you unlock him. If you even have, like, you're racing in Series 8 before you unlock Carlos Sainz, probably, who's now going to go soft. So for me, it was the case that at the beginning, I raced with Behrman in Series 8, and then once I had Carlos Sainz, got him a couple of times from the chests, and could actually level him, then I switched to Carlos Sainz. So since this is also an overtaking track, I would a defending track, I would expect Carlos Sainz to win this, so I am very surprised that now after the pit stop... Okay, no, he did get closer. Okay, so he is closing in on Behrman. Okay, so it looks like he really needs the 10 laps. But yeah, now that they're both at the same level, I think Carlos Sainz is better. But yeah, that's like my history with these two drivers. At the beginning, Behrman's great, but then once you have him leveled, Carlos Sainz is great. Of course, there is that one track, Azerbaijan overtaking. Oh, are we going to get the overtake here? Yeah, Behrman not great at defending, Carlos Sainz not great at overtaking. Let's see how it plays out. Does any of them need to pit? I think Behrman, yeah. Oh, Behrman is going to go medium now. Okay, so we're interrupting this duel first. Oh, no, that was because Behrman was pitting. But I feel like once Carlos Sainz now pits Behrman, he will be in front of Behrman. But, yeah, so where was I? Two very interesting drivers in Series 8. Now that they're at the same level, I feel Carlos Sainz is better because Behrman, yeah, you do have Azerbaijan. There he's for sure going to be a lot better, but it's just one track. And the other two tracks are defending, and the fourth one is tire management. Okay, man, for the loss of words here. So now Carlos Sainz is exiting the pits and far in front of Behrman. So yeah, they can both use the DRS now, but I feel like this is the position that we're going to be looking at the end of this race. But let's skip to the last couple corners. Okay, so we're now in the last couple corners and Carlos Sainz actually fighting for P1. So that could be interesting. He's on the soft tire. There you go. Wow. So yeah, he really beat Behrman by a lot more than I thought. Carlos Sainz finishing in P1 and Behrman in P6. But of course, this is one of the defending tracks. Let's not forget that. But still, Behrman, a Series 6 driver, is still very useful in Series 8 at the beginning. But then, yeah, this race was a good example. Later in Series 8, once you have Carlos Sainz leveled, it does look like he's a lot stronger, and it is also my experience. So, yeah, Carlos Sainz emerges victorious and heads to the final round of this tournament. Okay, but now, dun dun dun, the MVP of Series 8 enters the tournament. Epic version of Bortoleto. I think he's gonna crush Leclerc here. Okay, Leclerc just barely holding on with a slightly better qualifying, but that's about everything that Leclerc has going for him. So here, Bortoleto, if I would give him like a very weak tire management boost, he could do one stop, which is the best strategy at Jeddah. But because I'm not boosting any of them, we're gonna do a 2-stop. But it doesn't really matter for this duel. I don't even know if Leclerc can do 2 laps on the soft. I'm not trusting him with that. So he's probably going to do medium. Oh, we'll see. I'll figure it out to avoid the double stack. But this duel, let's be honest, it's not going to be close. Bortoleto is way better at Leclerc at almost everything. And although he has a slow race start, okay, so that's not the first appearance I expected from our MVP. But still, Bortoleto, amazing. I expect him to do very well in this tournament. And of course, as soon as you unlock him, I think already at level 1, you want to go with him in Series 8. His stats are amazing. Great defending, great tire management. Overtaking, not great, but still not terrible. So, yeah, just a great overall driver for Series 8. But for now, he's having trouble overtaking Leclerc. Now they're both out of energy. But again, I can't imagine it will take long. Let's see, is it going to happen? Okay, not yet. But as I said, I can't imagine this will take long. So, there you go. Okay, so now he's passed him. And yeah, this duel, it's not one of the most interesting duels in this tournament. So yeah, let's just skip ahead to the last final rounds to move on in this tournament. Okay, and we're in the last couple corners for at least Bortoleto, because Leclerc is very far behind and he's actually fighting for P1 here against my rivals Bortoleto. Can I get him with DRS? Ah, no, okay. But still, Bortoleto finish in P2. Just, I'm gonna open the map here. Look at where Leclerc is. Like, Leclerc just started the last lap a couple corners ago, and Bortoleto, like, give him 2 more laps and he would have lapped him. So yeah, absolute domination. I can't even make an excuse for the track. Like, no matter what track we would have gotten in Series 8, Bortoleto would have always won against Leclerc. So, come on, just to honor Leclerc, let's wait for him to finish. There you go, P12. But yeah, as expected, in this duel, Bortoleto emerges victorious, and that now brings us to the final duel of this tournament. Okay, and we're back at the Red Bull Ring for I think the 3rd time in this tournament for the final duel between Epic Bortoleto and Rare Carlos Sainz. And actually, Carlos Sainz is lucky that he got the Red Bull Ring, because I feel like the defending tracks are the only tracks where he at least stands a chance. And now with this one, you can see Bortoleto can do 6 laps on the hard. So now I am gonna do 6, yeah, I can do a 1-stop with both of them. Carlos Sainz is going to go hard, and Bortoleto is going to go hard, soft. So that way I can avoid the double stack, but still do a 1-stop with them. And also, you know, 3rd time Red Bull Ring, let's at least mix up the tire strategy. So let's see how the race start plays out. This is really important for Carlos Sainz to get a lead against Bortoleto, but that's not happening. Bortoleto is for now ahead, but okay. Let's see. Carlos Sainz is still not far behind. P9, P7. I feel like this first lap is really crucial for Carlos Sainz to stand a chance against Bortoleto, because his stats against Bortoleto, they're not looking too great. So, yeah, that first lap wasn't the lap that Carlos Sainz needed to win against Bortoleto. Oh, it's... Okay, I now use DRS a bit too late for Bortoleto. But yeah, this duel, usually I would like the final duel to be really exciting and really close, and sometimes it is. But in Series 8, you know, we unlocked 1 epic driver, didn't have an epic driver in Series 7. So yeah, Bortoleto is just without a doubt the strongest driver that you're going to unlock in Series 8. And although Carlos Sainz is also strong against Bortoleto, doesn't stand a chance. And with Bortoleto, the thing is also, because we don't unlock an epic driver in Series 9 as well, Bortoleto is going to be really strong even in Series 9 and in all the contender tournaments. So, Grand Prix weekend events, not tournaments. So yeah, Bortoleto, it's definitely worth leveling him. And as soon as you have him, as I said, probably already at level 1, he's going to be worth it. But still, let's see how close Carlos Sainz will finish to him at a track like the Red Bull Ring, where it is about defending, which is Carlos Sainz's strong point. So yeah, let's skip to the last lap. Okay, we're now in the last lap, and again, it's not really about Bortoleto versus Carlos Sainz, but Bortoleto against my rivals, Bortoleto. Yeah, to be honest, I kind of stretched the tires a bit with that hard-soft strategy, so he's now going to run out of tires, which is probably going to cost him the lead. So going medium is better with Bortoleto, but to not have a double stack in this duel, I went hard-soft. So just a little note there. But still, you saw Carlos Sainz not as far behind as Leclerc, but still a very big gap. So without a doubt, Bortoleto is going to be your #1 driver in Series 8, and he wins this tournament fair and square. Okay, so figuring out who's your #1 driver in Series 8, it's pretty easy. So it really comes down to who is your #2 driver. And there, as we saw in this tournament, we really have 3 candidates. It's either going to be Rare Piastri, Epic Bearman, or Rare Carlos Sainz. Rare Piastri, once you have him leveled, he's really not too bad in Series 8, and especially at an overtaking track, he would be really good. But even at a defending track, he can hold his own. Like, his defending stat isn't too bad. Epic Bearman, as I said, I think at the beginning at Series 8, he's still great. At an overtaking track, he's going to be awesome. And then at the other tracks, his stats are good enough that he can compete. But once you have drivers like Piastri or Carlos Sainz leveled, you do want to transition to one of them. My preference, and also the one that came out in second place in this tournament, is going to be rear Carlos Sainz, just because of his great tire management, great defending stat. And then at that one overtaking track, you're just going to have to take the loss, hope that your rival also has bad overtaking drivers, or use a boost. So yeah, that's been it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you if you're currently racing in Series 8. If you're already in Series 9, then stay tuned for my Series 9 tournament, because that's also coming in the next couple of weeks. But in the meantime, YouTube thinks you should check out this video. So hopefully I'll see you over there. Lassium out.